Hey everybody, welcome back to the Race 5 Smokehouse and Grill. Today we are going to be talking about prime rib. Prime rib is everywhere right now, and I'm going to go over some of the tips and tricks I've learned over the years cooking many prime ribs that have all come out amazing, but always trying to get better. Let me share those tips with you right now. Let's cook this prime rib on the Weber Kettle. Let's go. Prime rib is often intimidating just because of the price tag that comes along with it and the special days that you're typically using prime rib as your meal. You're talking Christmas, New Year's. You don't want to mess it up. Prime rib is actually pretty easy to cook. Just follow some simple instructions and don't overcook it. That's the bottom line. Don't overcook it. But there are several other things you learn along the way. Number one is when you're picking out that piece of meat. You want to look for a piece of meat that has some marbling in it. And as you can see on here, this is vacuum sealed already. It's hard to tell in here, but when you kind of squeeze and look through the plastic wrap here, you can see some decent marbling. And on this thicker end, it has that nice spinalis, that nice rib cap in which we are actually going to protect later. That's what you're looking for. You want some nice marbling and you want a nice thick rib cap on there. Next step is preparation. Let's step into the preparation mode, show you how we do it. Start by getting it out of your wrap or however it's packaged. You want to get that open so you can get into it. Now, if you saw in there was a lot of liquid. We want to get that liquid patted off here because we are going to apply some olive oil for this cook, and that's going to help give you a nice little crust on here. And this is a bone-in rib roast. Nice and patted dry. Now this next step is brilliant and I wish I would have thought of it myself. I'm stealing this from the Grill Dads. They posted a video where they actually took these bones off and flipped this over instead of cooking it traditionally with the bone side where it normally is. You take it off, flip it to protect that rib cap. Let's do that. We're gonna take these strings off. And you can see here, the butcher already cut these bones off. We just got to do a little bit more to get these completely taken off here. So we're just going to take our knife and follow that line that they created. And we're going to save these. This is going to protect that spinalis, and it's also got a ton of great meat on here. This is going to be some good stuff. And now we're gonna get this beautiful hunk of meat seasoned up. Now we have it dried because we are gonna put a little bit of olive oil. You could use Worcestershire sauce on here as well. Get some extra flavor in there. I like the olive oil because as it's on the grill, it's almost gonna fry that skin a little bit. At least in my head, that's what it's doing. And it's gonna create a little bit better of a crust on there. So hit it with some olive oil and get all that rubbed in real nice. Today I'm doing a couple layers of seasoning, and again, one of the things I've learned, I've tried all different methods. You know, you could really lather it up with butter and do all those fancy things. Simple olive oil with a couple of your favorite seasonings. It's gonna be an amazing prime rib. Today I'm using Paradise Pepper Company's Money Rub. This is a great salt, pepper, and garlic seasoning. Get all the sides you got that oil on. We are going to flip it and do the other side as well. Another staple of prime rib is to get some herbs on there. You could do your rosemary, thyme, get those fresh, pat that in there, cook it up there. Great. I'm going with a pre-made one. We're using Big Wicks Tex-Mex Ranch mix. This stuff is amazing and it has all those herbs built in. I'm going to use that as my herb component for this prime rib. Flip it over, do the same thing for the other side now. So we have the hunk of meat seasoned up, ready to go. Next, we're gonna put it back on the bones, but we're gonna put it opposite. And honestly, while we're doing it, I'm gonna season up these ribs as well, these bones. There's a lot of good meat on here, gonna be delicious as well. We have our bone seasoned up. We've got our meat seasoned up. Now let's get this back on here, tied back up so we can go get that grill fired up. Now these were originally like this with the bone, main bone on the bottom. We're gonna flip that up. Bone's gonna be up on top now. Then we're gonna take this and just plop it right down on there. That way this rib cap here is gonna be nice and protected by those bones, and we should not overcook that rib cap. That cap is some of the best meat you could get on a cow. You don't wanna ruin it. So let's get some string, tie this up. So this is a 4-bone roast. I cut off 4 strings here. Let's see if we're gonna need them. Just gonna put this off to the side, get our strings set up here. And we're just gonna have our strings somewhat set up where we think that they're gonna go on this roast. Let's get this back on here, tie it up. Boom. Get that back on there, get that cap protected by the bones. Now we're gonna tie this up nice and tight. I'm not a great knot tire, so we're going pretty basic here. Gonna do it a few times. Same thing the rest of the way. Then get these loose bits cut off, loose ends of the ropes here. There we have it. Our beautiful, tied up, trimmed up, reversed cap, bone-in rib roast, getting ready for the Weber kettle. So let's head over to the grill right now and get that fired up. We have our slow and sear set up with Jealous Devil lump charcoal. We have a couple hunks of post oak from Smoky Woods. Got our lighter cubes. Let's get this started up so we can get that prime rib on. I always like to get that one extra piece just over the top there. Make sure that gets lit up and we get that fire rolling. Gonna let that fire catch up, and once that temperature is where we want it, we're gonna get this on the grill. We will be back shortly once that grill is ready. That fire on the Weber kettle is rolling, looking good. We've got that hunk of post oak rolling well. Let's get this prime rib on the grill and cooking. And you can see on here, this is the spinalis down here. I'm gonna turn it this way, let this cook, and it's gonna be protected right here. And the next tip, and it is a tip that I always preach, you wanna know your temperatures of the meat in particular. This is gonna be cooking low and slow, somewhere between 250 to 300, but you wanna know what that internal temp of the meat's gonna be. I'm using a wireless temp probe. We're gonna put this into the center and to the outside of the meat. That way we know 2 different temps inside the meat so we don't overcook it, because we are going to be shooting for a rare, medium rare on this, but we want to know what that internal is going to be so we don't overcook it. And that's the #1 rule with prime rib. Don't overcook it. Know your internal temperatures. And that's the easiest way to not overcook it, is by knowing your internal temperatures. You could use all these equations, 5 minutes per pound at this degree, but you can still overshoot it. You can miss it. You could set an alarm on a wireless probe. You could set, even if you have a wired probe, keep an eye on that internal temperature and you're not gonna overshoot it, and residual cooking is real. So we're gonna close this down, let this cook for a while, and we'll be back for the next step. We're 3.5 hours in on this 8.5 pound prime rib. At 1.5 hours, I came and I gave it a rotate just to make sure we had overall even cooking. Right now, my temp probe's going off saying that it's at 115 in the center, which is where I want to pull it, because it's going to carry over cook another 5 to 10 degrees. That's going to get us to that nice 120, 125 spot in the middle for perfect prime rib. Let's go check this prime rib out right now. Now this thing is looking absolutely gorgeous. Now this is reading 115. Let's double check with our instant read here. Yep, 116, 115, 116, perfect. Let's get this off the grill right now. I'm gonna put this on a tray into the warming oven, set at 100 degrees until that carryover cooking stops. It's cold out right now and I don't wanna shock it. You could also bring it in the house, tent it with some foil until it stops going up in temperature. Another good reason to have a nice wireless temp probe. Oh yeah. I am gonna throw a quick tent of foil over this and then into the warming oven. Now I know everyone does not have a warming oven, so perfect time, go put it in your oven that's shut off until that carryover cooking stops. We want that to come up again to about 120, 125 before we do our final step, which is going to be searing it. So let's get the grill set up to give this a nice sear after it's done resting. So let's get this grate off. And I'm actually gonna move this slow and sir. Be careful, I have some cotton liners under here. Get this more into the center because we want a ripping hot fire right now. So I'm actually gonna throw a few more coals on here as well. Now this is going to give us plenty of room once these coals are nice and lit to be able to sear one side, flip it, sear another side, come back to this side, sear another side, and go back and finish it off. We're gonna let this get nice and hot. We'll go check on that prime rib in a second. So this prime rib has been resting for about 35, 40 minutes. That carryover cook is legit. It came up to about 130, 131 in the center before it started to come back down. Now it's time for the final step. We're gonna pull those bones off, cut that string, and give it a quick sear on all sides. And then we're gonna slice in and eat. Let's get this taken apart. Get these probes out. This is just looking gorgeous. You almost don't even need to sear it, but we want to get that nice and seared off, especially that rib cap side that we have protected under here. Because you have this color, you want to get this nice and crusted up, get some color on here as well. Let's head over to the grill, get this seared off. Gonna go ahead and get that spinalis side down first here. We're gonna go about 30 seconds, 45 seconds on this just to get some color, just to build a little crust. I'm just gonna give a flip here. We got our nice crust. Don't need to go much further with that. Let's get this off so we can slice in and try it. We have our prime rib done. Let's slice into this and see how we did. And we're gonna go right in the middle because that's the part of the area we've been trying to protect the most. Let's see how we did here. And look at that cap. Nice and pink and juicy. Slice off a steak and take a bite. Try to get a close-up of this. This is perfect. Now we have to take a bite of this. Let's try it. I'm going right after that spinalis, that cap. Gotta go for 2 bites on this one. Prime rib does not have to be complicated. Follow these steps I told you. Get a good cut of meat, season it simply, protect that rib cap, don't overcook it, and make sure you give it a nice rest. You follow those rules, you're gonna have an amazing prime rib whenever you cook it. This did cook on the grill. It was between 280 and 310 the whole cook. I just want to get that information out there. I know somebody's gonna ask. Between 280 and 310, until the internal temperature of the dead center was 115 degrees. If you like what we did here, please check us out on social media. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and we will be talking to you all later. Thanks again, everybody. Take care. Peace.